Okay, go ahead.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? This is your boy Ricco Barrino, and you're now listening to the B-I-Z with D.
All right, get started right now. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning into the Biz with D right now. You guys always know we always got the hot exclusive interviews, and we about to have another Barrino on the show. Yes, I said another. We're going to have Fantasia's brother, Ricco. He's on the line with us. What's going on, man?
What's going on? How you doing?
We're doing good. How about yourself?
I can't complain, man. You know, working hard. That's all it's about.
That's what's up. Well, we definitely want to say thank you and welcome to the show. We definitely are a fan of just, your fan of your sister as well, and your music too. So it's like double package.
Thank you. It's a blessing to have the opportunity to speak with you guys and hopefully share a lot of what I'm doing with the world.
Most definitely. So I know you're signed with Grand Hustle, right?
Right.
How's that working out for you?
It's good. Right now I'm in negotiations, as far as a new contract because that one is about to expire. But other than that, definitely the family ties are strong. I definitely have a job. Anytime I walk into the studio, Clifford, some people call him T.I., I call him Tip. He definitely is one that he believes in equal opportunity and making sure, a person gets their just due. And, I've had the privilege to be able to go some places and have some opportunities due to the fact of him, having those type of beliefs. So, Grand Hustle has been good to me as well.
That's what's up. So now I did see something on Twitter that I have to ask you about, like, hands down. So, rumor has it you and my brother Brian are doing a mixtape together. Is that true?
Yeah. It was funny because DJ Chaotic was talking, talking to me, and he was like, it'd be cool to to kind of see if we could tie two young fresh cats that can really have chops as far as singing together and see if we can come up with something different. And I thought it would be a great idea. So we came up with the idea. Brian got on the phone. He's very excited. One thing about Brian that I love, he's very energetic. And from the time, that we worked before, because I worked on the Day 26 project, the last project they did, I worked with him. He was just always very energetic, outgoing. He was a very nice cat. And so, I was like, it would be a pleasure to do something different.
Definitely. Now, you said the last project they did. What songs necessarily?
I ended up I did multiple songs, but the song that got placed was a song by the name of Your Heels, I think it's called. Those Heels, Your Heels.
Stop playing with me.
Yeah, so I ended up doing that record. Me and Jazzy Faye collaborated and came up with that one. They came in, they loved it, and we just we had fun with the song and ended up making the album.
Wow. You don't even understand. Like, that's my song. Like, that's like everybody else's song. Do you know how, like, crazy people still go hard with that song?
Yeah, that was a good song. I enjoyed creating it because it allowed me to be me when, as far as the harmonies and just the subject matter. Shout out to Jazzy Faye because he allowed me to just kind of really be me, and he allows me to create. He trusts me, and like I said, I really had fun with it. So it was very fun to see, all the guys from Day 26 really like lock in on the song, and everybody was dancing around and enjoying it.
That's phenomenal. That really is. So now, so since you do the writing and stuff like that, what other artists have you worked with and what songs?
I've worked with a lot of artists. from T.I. to Jeezy and Trey songs. I did the Taking It record for Jeezy and Trey songs, which actually dropped around the same time that I did the Paper Trail album with T.I., which I did. You can have whatever you like with T.I. and Porn Star. And I had my hands in my Life's Entertainment record, Usher, as well as Rock City, and Angie Stone, of course, Jazzy Faye. This goes on. The Backstreet Boys, Mario, R. Kelly, Missy Elliott. What? Yeah, I've had the pleasure, through God's grace, to really be able to stand beside people that I've always dreamed of. Of course, I'm still not done with my wish list, but I've written for quite a few.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, after naming all of those artists, who would you have to say was your top 3 favorite, like working with?
I mean, I think I just said it. You know what I'm saying? R. Kelly would have to be one. Missy, and then I would have to say it's a tie between maybe like Mario or like the Backstreet Boys, because they, of course, the Backstreet Boys are like icons now. They're legends.
Yeah.
And they're still able to pack out shows. And Mario, I love his vocal tone. And it's a lot more that I've worked with, but just those gentlemen, I enjoy only because it was something about them that they brought to the table that just kind of made you be like, wow, is this really happening?
That's incredible if you've had those placements. And this is in the course of how many years, just in case for those who don't,
This is really briefly, probably in the last 3 to 4 years. Yeah.
Craziness. Mm-hmm. That's actually, I'm not going to say it's unheard of, but that's a lot in 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot.
I'm blessed.
Yeah,
I'm
definitely.
Blessed.
You are definitely blessed. So now let's talk about this. You know what? I'm not going to ask about that. I want to ask you about, just growing up, with music surrounded around you. I mean, your family, like music was just around. Like, how important was it for you to just really pursue music versus anything else?
It definitely prepared me for who I am now. It also prepared me on the writing aspect. As a writer, it's funny because I hear people like Sean Garrett that'll walk up to me, or Brian Cox. He'll walk up to me and he'll say, "It's funny because you're a singer who happens to write, and we're like writers who happen to sing." I'm able to because I've seen so much. I have like this gumbo of things, of different styles that's inside of me, and it helps me as an artist as well as a writer. It helps me because I'm able to try to kind of get into the world of the artist, and keep it. I try to compliment them with their style. You can hear bits and pieces of me, but I try to get as close to the artist as possible. And some writers, just have like really one style. You go to a certain artist to get that certain sound. Me, I'm more. I like to think of myself as well-rounded. If I want to write something for Taylor Swift, then I could. If I wanted to go and do something for Rascal Flatts over in the country world, then I feel like I can't. All because I was just able to listen to everything and study everything.
Definitely. And you know what? That's very important, to be able to cross over and to just study different music and just be comfortable with it, because there's just some writers that, stay limited. Oh, I'm going to write pop. I'm going to write this. I'm going to write that. Like, personally myself, like, when it comes to writing, I'm the type of writer, because I do some writing, I'll do the rap verses, not for myself, because I can't
right.
nothing. I mean, it's on a whole crazy mess. And then I'll do like maybe that country western kind of feel. Then I'll do like a pop song. So it's like, got to be very diverse.
Definitely you do, especially in this day and time, because people want to hear what's different. We've evolved into a society of what feels like fresh air. You know what I mean? It's like you might have a song for a good solid 3 to 4 weeks, and you're like, yeah, this is my song, and then you've heard it so much, and you're like, okay, well, what's new? You start turning on the radio, and you're like, I've heard that, I'm tired of it. So now you go and you start searching for fresh air. And that's basically what we've evolved in now. We want to know what's fresh. And if you can be diverse, you have the ability to be fresh.
Definitely. So now, one of our questions from our listeners, they definitely want to know, how was it growing up with, like, Fantasia?
That's funny you said that. With Tasia, it's like more of, Tasia's a rebel. Tasia was I was more of the busybody at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I was coming and going, and being older, it's like, you know, I would have to. Tasia was the girl that you say, don't do that. Yeah, you know, and you have to tell her. I tell her one time. It got to the point where I tell her once, and after I tell you once and you do it anyway, then I'm like, okay, that eye was hot. Now you see it's hot, and that's it. So it was very interesting growing up with her because, again, you know, I was into sports and just, you know, the girls and, talent shows and just, you know, just being out with my friends. You know, and she had her little friends, and, you know, we were in two different worlds. You know what I mean? But I made sure that, you know, she was straight as far as if she was ever in trouble, but she was definitely a little rebel.
Definitely. And she still is kind of a rebel. I mean, with us interviewing her, like, you know, the one thing I have to say about your family is y'all are so honest.
Yeah, we are. And sometimes sometimes it hurts, but I guess we just come from a place where it's like the place is very real. You tell it like it is, or you basically a liar. And you know, I come from a place where people can smell the word fake. You know what I mean? They know if you're, you know, they can kind of see through you. So it's like, you know, I like to try to keep it as real as possible. So if someone's listening that knew who I was before, who I am now, you know, they can say, you know, he's telling the truth. You know, he's keeping it real. And it's just how it's been, you know, with my whole family. And it's sort of like the gift and the curse, but at the end of the day, like, you know, you're giving your true self. You're giving the people you. You're not, you know what I mean? You're not playing the alter ego game and, you know, trying to keep the people guessing. They know, you know, they have a chance to figure out if they want to follow you to the end of the earth. And I think, you know, sometimes the world is lacking of real people, but you know, I chose as well as my family to kind of be real. I'm more of the person who's like, I carefully plan, or my decision making skills are, you know, I just kind of think about things before I do them. Which I'm more of the gentleman who happens to be the bad boy, and then you got the rebels. You got my brother, you got my sister. But I'm just more of a chess player, and so. That's how I look at things.
Most definitely. So now we got to talk about, you know, this new single, Followers. I love it,
right.
And the project that comes with, you know, that single is phenomenal. Tell them about Followers in case those who haven't checked it out yet.
Followers is very different. You know, a lot of people. Let's get it straight. Like a lot of people are talking about the same things. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Even rather it be love or heartbreak, it's people are just really talking about the same things, how much they hurt, but no one's really talking about what's different in the world and how love comes different. And so that's what, you know, me and my producer and slash, good friend, Gab Beats, we chose to basically pick a subject matter to talk about in order to bring the audience in of what's going on now. Back in the day, a lot of people would, find love in the church, or they would find love at the juke joint, or, at the restaurant, or at a wedding. And nowadays, people are finding love in different places. The internet, Instagram, Twitter, all these different social websites that target relationships. You see them on TV. To talk and tell a story about, this guy, he's seen this girl, she's on Twitter, Instagram, her face, her whole aura catches his attention, and he starts to follow her. But he doesn't want anyone to know, he's in love with this. And all he does is put the conversations. He's infatuated with, her conversations and who she's talking to. And they just happen to be friends, and they happen to be following each other, but he don't want her to know. So subliminally, he says things, through text messaging in order to, kind of put it out there. You know what I mean? And so at the end of the chorus, you get hashtag random thought. For all the people who are a little slow, hashtag is the pound sign, and of course, random thought. You know what I'm saying? Random thought just means that I don't want to tell you who I'm talking about, but just know I have a crush on this very special someone. So that's followers.
Definitely. You said, in case for those who don't know. I would hope they would be, kind of quick on, the hashtag thing. Shit, I mean, they got the hashtags. Hashtags are now on Facebook, right? You see that?
Right, but some people they used to the word pound, the pound sign. Hey, the pound sign. And so, I just have to, for the viewers who just they never still really got it, it's the pound sign.
Yeah, because I'll be like, who is pound? I press pound when I call somebody. I do hashtag when I'm cheating. Fuck out of here. Right. That's what's up. So let's talk about the project that definitely comes behind, that single, musical illusion. Not illusions.
Evolution.
I'm stupid.
Evolution.
Evolutions. Goodness gracious. I got illusions stuck in my mind, though.
It's okay. Musical evolution, I named it that because, hey, I mean, I'm the type of person, I'm a visionary. I think very futuristic with what I do. Case in point, when I did Futuristic Love with Young L.A., I was just thinking just way ahead of myself. And so musical evolution is basically it's letting you know where I want to go. I don't want for my listening audience to just think that I'm in a box and I'm just so strictly R&B, or hip hop R&B, because of course I do both. But I have a vision. Like I tell people, I told someone the other day, like where I'm trying to go is where I started actually. With the band and being able to, I want to be the guy who you come to see. Well, actually, let me get that right. When you come to see me, you come to hear me. So you're not actually coming just to see me prance around and dance on stage. I want to be the guy who can sit down at the piano with the suit on, or the guy who can roll his sleeves up, the apple cap, and you come to genuinely hear me, and I could play with people like the Dave Matthewses or the Coldplays or, the Funds, all these big people who will have timeless music today. I want to be able, to say something, like the John Legends. And so that's my whole motivation. So when I did Musical Evolution, I gave a little bit of everything. If you checked it out, you know that I have from your love songs and your ballads, all the way to like your Miami, let's get on the speakers and go crazy, type of vibe. And then I went old school and gave you that cookout, that picnic, that drive with driving with your top down. And then I brought it back and gave you some pain, and displayed how wide I can go, with music, how big I can get it. And I just gave you bits and pieces for you to, for the listener to know, okay, you can't put him in the box. Everything that I'm listening to is very believable. And that's basically what I'm trying to do with the sound. I'm basically trying to keep that gumbo, in which I'm sure my sister told you, the rock soul movement. We're trying to keep that edgy sound, a sound to where people, they just, it's fresh. It's a gumbo of things, and it's fresh. And that's what we're basically trying to do. I'm just trying to keep a great gumbo of music that will make people say, this is different, but it's Ricco. You know what I mean? And a lot of artists that are coming now from your Justin Timberlakes and your Robin Thicks, to your Ushers and your Chris Browns. And so that's what I want to be able to do. I want to wake up in the morning and give you an Otis Redding sound and apply it to some dubstep type music, which is very international now. I'm free to do it, and it's believable. And so that's musical evolution. You know what I mean? It was, the whole project was based off of heartbreak and rebellion, because I went through some things. It's funny because I went through some things not knowing I was going through some things. It's kind of like when Biggie did The Life After Death. You know what I mean? You hear a lot of great artists. It's kind of like they spoke things into existence, to where I was involved with this very beautiful girl, and, I was in love, but at the same time, I was, I didn't take advantage of what I had, and it kind of took advantage of me. And before I knew it, I was lost and all alone. And this was like shortly right after I completed the project. And it was funny because my sister looked at me and said, bro, you basically just kind of like talked about everything that happened to you before it happened. And that's where I came up with Smooth Cloud.
Wow. That's what's up. So now what are your plans to do with the project since it's out and everybody can download it on iTunes?
It's funny because everyone is ranting and raving about it. My sister wants to re-release it as an album because I put it out as a mixtape. I feel like